Hey, everybody. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. Nesto's always here before the show starts, and we appreciate that. Shout out to y'all for being here. We're knee-deep in the combine. We're talking NFL draft things for your Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer, Will McClay, what's going on, all the things. Pop's at the combine. Holy cow, what a show. It starts meow. Out there searching for future Cowboys at the NFL Combine, which is underway. We've now had people in their undies running and jumping around, and that is what we're looking for. Big day in the world when you get the guys in their undies running and jumping around. Welcome in. We also had Brian Schottenheimer do a little talking, some optimism to be had there. And what's your experience with Jihad?
Campbell.
It's an Alabama football player.
Campbell.
This is what I thought everybody knew that. I apologize. But welcome into the show.
One of us not here on Monday. You know why?
Who would it be?
Huh?
Who would it be? My name is Jeff. I'm seated next to former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Could have been.
Next to him is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe!
Pop, Clarence Hill is he's in Indianapolis. So we'll talk to him in like 20-some odd minutes. Okay? You guys good with that? All right, here's how we're going to start the show.
All right, let's go.
I think I hate this draft. I think I hate the whole draft.
Yeah.
I think I'm out. I'm just going to opt out.
You're Shark Tank in the draft?
I just don't want to. I don't want to be in the draft anymore.
You're not performing at the draft.
Well, if I weren't performing, I'd hit up our guys at Blue Chew and I'd get that squared away. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Use the promo code. I think it's DLLS.
Sure, DLLS.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Club Pop is absolutely at St. Elmo's. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Jesse, are you raw dogging under that shirt?
Come on, guys. You know, I don't do the raw dogging. I am captain.
Okay, A shirt.
I am captain, no raw dog.
It's a shirt.
Got the
I'm
A
captain,
shirt.
no raw dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to do that today. We're not doing that. We don't do that.
So do you guys sit at the house and watch people run 40s over and over when the combine's on, or is that's just a me thing? I just watch them run.
I'll watch. Yeah.
And you don't need to.
But I will.
You can look it up in the morning.
I like
How
clips.
did they run?
I like clips.
But I just watch them one at a time, single file, run.
No, I watched it yesterday in the barbershop, and I was locked in. I was locked in on it. You want to, even though you can just go and watch the numbers later, it's something about seeing it in real time. Because I want to, it's one thing to go and look up and go, oh yeah, the 315-pound dude ran a 4.7. But to watch,
But you saw it.
But to watch a
changes
330-pound dude get booking down the runway, it's a different experience. It's a different feeling. And I know that I was the one that sat here and said that the combine is kind of dying, which I still
We're going to talk about it.
still believe.
It's turned into a non-playoff bowl game.
I still believe.
Whoa, that's a take.
Kind of has.
It's
Not in terms of viewership.
No, I don't hate it though. Yeah.
the 40 is one that I doesn't matter the position. You get into the 40. It's like when you watch the track and field events.
It's 100.
It's the 100.
Yeah.
You'll sit around for the 4 and you'll tune in for the 2. You locked in for the 100. You're locked in for men and women. You are locked in for the 100.
Hook'em Horns have 2 guys that'll run in the next couple of days in the 40 that say they're going to break Xavier Worthy's combine record of 4.21.
Yeah.
Running back Jaden Blue and wide receiver Isaiah Bond. By the way, no chance for either one of them.
Yeah.
But they say it.
You're locked into that stuff. You know what I'm locked into is big defensive linemen moving like elegantly. I love watching these like 304. Jamaria Caldwell from Oregon, watching him just do the wave drill, going back and forth. I was like, yes.
Oh, did you think he looked good?
Yeah, 100%.
Just because he went to Oregon, huh?
Yeah, for sure. But you know what was cool was JJ. I can't say his last name. Peegs,
Peg.
whatever it is from Ole Miss, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, Peg.
He was doing fullback drills yesterday.
Yeah. He's trying to be Patrick Ricard.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
330 pounds doing that kind of stuff. I was like,
He looked good, though.
He did look good.
He ran that Texas route.
That's what I'm saying. He did a little
Who wants to tackle that?
Jamari Caldwell will do it.
Catch a ball going right to left, about 330 pounds. Okay, so I kind of hate the draft. And here's what's going on in my brain. I just don't know if there's anybody that they could pick with the 12th pick that I'm going to be like, yeah. Because every time that I feel like I'm in a groove with this situation and I got the guys that I think I like, there's something that goes wrong. And then there's other guys that I'm like, yeah, but you don't want to do that at 12, do you? But then I'm looking at them like, that checks every single box. Oh, crap. Like, maybe you do want to do that. It's the most confused I've ever been about a draft. And you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to be like, here's what I think. It is the most lost and indecisive I've ever been about what to do with the 12th overall pick.
Because even last year, like when the Cowboys at 24, it's like, okay, there's situations where like maybe this guy falls, like a Talisi Fuaga falls, like, and it's like, hey, maybe they'll take the project and Tyler Guyton, right? But even that was like that could be a little bit of a reach, but you knew where you were. I think you're so on it where like, I don't know, there's so many questions around, which makes me think that there's one guy I think is just the answer.
Don't do this.
Yeah, there's one guy that's the answer in terms of you got confusion. Hey, this guy checks the boxes, but I'm not sure about the production.
I know.
What if you got a guy that checks the boxes and all the production and it has the local story?
I know.
I think they're going to keep coming back to I think they're going to keep coming back to Ashton Jeanty.
I know.
Because I think we are.
I know.
Here's why I'm concerned.
You better be concerned.
Here's why. Because you talk about the draft and it not being a draft littered with top-end talent. I should say top-end elite talent.
Right. Lots of talent, but not talent that in most years is going in the top 10 or 12.
Right.
It's a lot of either he's the right sort of athlete, the right sort of build, he has the production, but not necessarily the right build. Like, it's all pick your flavor.
And here's where I get concerned and a little bit worried. And maybe Ashton Jeanty is the answer to all of the worry because it's actually safe.
Yeah.
It is actually safe.
I don't want safe at 12.
I don't want.
Clarence.
That was Clarence.
Yeah.
I want.
I don't want safe. And I'm like, yeah, neither do we. We want an incredible. Well, I do want safe, but I want an incredible prospect at the most important positions too. When they don't exist, now what?
Yeah.
But when you start doing the math, you start talking about the talent is not an elite group. Then you look at how many holes that the Cowboys currently have.
53,
right?
Give or take.
Now you also look at the fact that the Cowboys, even when things are simple and straightforward, sometimes act confused. So when you add confusion to their already confused process, it worries me because you get to 12 and now guys aren't really sure because nothing is sure about this at number 12. There's really nothing sure about this at number 12.
And it's never sure in any year, but
you feel more comfortable.
There's a more comfortability
For
of
sure.
saying this is going to be the guy or
For
the
sure.
guys that we're going to get at this position.
for sure.
And I know you say Jeanty, and some mocks, they got Jeanty going as high as 6 or 7.
Which is possible, yeah.
Right? Which is possible. So as those safe guys go away, the Cowboys, who are already confused individuals, get to a point where they go, is it the hot dog or is it the bun?
That's a tough spot.
Right? And now you get to 12 and the clock is going. One person saying hot dog, the other person saying bun, and next thing you know, you end up with a damn chicken nugget.
Yeah, oh, I love chicken nuggets.
I love chicken nuggets. That'd be a good pick.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd be cool with a chicken nugget.
But if a chicken nugget
Who's
is
the
not what
nugget?
you need,
Walter Nolan.
then
he's the chicken nugget?
He's the chicken nugget.
you screwed. Because some may want a hot dog.
Yeah.
Some may prefer the bun.
Yeah.
And some may not eat chicken nuggets at all. But now because you're already a confused bunch, you get to that pick and you're like, hot dog, bun, hot dog, bun. Chicken tender.
You just opened up something in my mind, too.
You hungry?
One, I'm hungry as heck. Two, it almost kind of lends more ideas to the idea that maybe even Omarion Hampton at 12 could make sense. Because think from your perspective of like, hey, if the Cowboys fall in love with Ashton Jeanty, you know what? A running back, a talented guy that's going to fix a running game day one, that is the safe pick at 12. We don't want to take other risks. Fine. And then he goes at 6, and then it's like, oh, that's like when you get to the restaurant and you are fixated on ordering this one thing, and they're like, hey, that's sold out. And you're like, oh, what do I do now? You panic. I could see like if Ashton Jeanty's gone, then hypothetically a panic situation.
Yeah, we love a good panic situation. Didn't we just talk about having a drop ready for this guy? All right, Captain Thunder's in the super chat. Let's end the era of greed. Draft a quarterback. Get rid of greedy, selfish, inaccurate, broken down, greedy Dak. This is our shot to end the era of greed.
Chat lies.
Chat lies.
Chat lies.
Chat
Thank you
lies.
for your $5 Canadian. We're excited to be your 11th province.
You did step it up.
Dro Nose is in the super chat. Give me Banks or Booker at 12. This is a deep running back draft. And I think we had one before that, right? Nate. In a year, we likely won't feel great about anyone at 12. I'll happily bet on the rare combo of size and athleticism of Stewart. Okay, so because some of these may be coming from my individual YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh, I do want to be careful in draft time because I absolutely get guilty of this. I'll just fire off a last name and start talking.
So do I.
80% of people might have no idea what's happening. So out of all these names that were mentioned, we'll ignore Captain Thunder because he doesn't matter. Well, you matter.
Well, you matter.
You matter.
Just
don't
not
get me
your
wrong.
takes.
You matter.
It's not your takes.
But your rage is unhealthy, and you need to work on that. So Nate Stewart, that would be Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M, who is, what did he end up at? 6'4", 6'5"? He was like 6'5", 270 pounds, give or take.
Yep.
Ran just under 4.6 40.
Longer arms than Miles.
Yeah, the comp they used was Myles Garrett. And now here's the problem. Then you put up their stats. And Myles Garrett was an awesome college football player, and Shamar Stewart's never tackled anyone in organized football in his entire life. Basically. Like, his stats are like a sack and a half and 4 tackles for like no production whatsoever at all in college football. But
a lot of vibes. He feels like a vibe player.
you could see him lined
Like,
up.
he's a lot of vibes. Like,
You're like, you ain't supposed to be that big, that long, that strong, that fast, and all those different things in that package. That's what's happened. So he's going to get picked in the first round. He's never been productive at football.
See, to me, that's not a wild speculation, but that is a very risky prospect when you're talking about having all that size, that athleticism, all the traits.
Yeah.
But on the college level, you don't meet the production point of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get easier when you get to this league.
No.
It doesn't get easier at all. The competition gets greater. It's harder.
Here's his college stats. 3 years at A&M. 1.5 sacks, 1.5 sacks, 1.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 2 tackles for loss, 6 tackles for loss. That would probably be the worst statistical profile in the history of a first-round pass rusher.
Guys, I watched a lot. Meriden Aggie. I watched a lot of Texas A&M football over the last 3 years. I didn't even realize Shamar Stewart was like a draft prospect until the draft prospect situation started. I'm not kidding. Like, it was like you'd see him every once in a while, like, oh, okay, nice play. At the other Shamar, because they have Shamar Turner, too.
Defensive tackle.
I knew Shamar Turner more than I knew Shamar Stewart.
Yep. Yeah, and then there's Nick Scorton, who did have production at Texas A&M, but now they're all weird. Like, I watch Texas A&M guys, and I'll rank players every year. Like, I make them a little spreadsheet, and I'm like, every different position.
That's insane. There's no way this dude would be on my board.
Every different round grade, every different position, and I'd put on there, I've got 100 players on there, and somewhere on there I just put a note, Texas A&M guys. I have no idea. Like, I don't know what to do with you or where to pick you, and that's the ones where my saying would be, let somebody else be a hero. Like, some other team can be like, hey, you guys, you're not going to believe the athlete we got and what we're going to turn him into. And I'd be like, you got it, champ. And so what you're saying, like, that's a legit, excuse me, like, potential top 15, top 20 pick, maybe top 12 pick.
Yeah.
Is that production, but in that body with that athleticism. And it goes to what I'm saying about how I'm so uncomfortable with the top 12 of this draft. There's 3 guys that I keep coming back to that check all the boxes, and I hate it. Because somebody said it earlier, Jeremy, I think, where he was like, Jeff's talking himself into Jeanty and he hates it. Like, those are the things. So Ashton Jeanty, and I'm going to give you 2 other names. Tyler Warren, I'm very comfortable with what he is. Penn State tight end, I'm very comfortable with what he is. Running back in the first round, hate it. Tight end in the first round, hate it. I'm super comfortable with who they are. Off-ball linebacker in the first round, hate it. Jahad Campbell, Alabama linebacker, 6'3", 235 pounds, just tested as an elite athlete, also can come line up on the edge and rush the passer a little bit. Like, 3 of the guys that I feel the most confident in what they are play the positions I least want to draft in the first round. That's where we are. By the way, Mason Graham is way lighter than they said and has short arms.
Yeah.
So, like, and he's one of the top 5 players. And he's one of the top 5 players. Like, not full Jack Sawyer T-Rex arms from Ohio State, but yeah, kind of.
You hate it, but you'll like it the day after they get picked.
Yeah, Ted McMillan's not running. Well, that's combine stuff that we're gonna do. We got shoddy stuff, right? But we have more combine stuff coming up. Like the amount of people who aren't working out is going up and up and up and up and up, and it annoys me.
You and Marlon agree.
Give me Jihad in the first and trade a 3 and 5 for Metcalf from Seattle. He might be getting traded for a 1. We'll talk about that in a minute. Drafted DT and Blue and Gidden. Blue said he's going to run a 4-1. Thank you, Marlon, in the super chat. We appreciate you, my friend.
And your service.
Coming up next, we do have some shoddy nuggets that came out of there, and also just way more draft and combine. So just keep firing in questions, thoughts, yell at me, do whatever you want. Club Pops at 11:30. That's next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast.
Club Pop Pop, where legends drop.
If you're headed to Club Pop Pop, you want to make sure that you actually get inside the club. When you get inside the club, if you're really VIP, you got your shades on. Yeah. And if you're really, really, really VIP, those shades are Shady Rays. Head over to ShadyRays.com and use the promo code DLLS and get 35% off a pair of polarized sunglasses. The weather is it's starting to break. We're in the 70s here in Dallas. The sun is out. It is, you have the windows only halfway down. You're paying your good vibes, and you got your Shady Rays on, baby. You're looking good. You're feeling good. In fact, over 300,000 people have said Shady Rays is a 5-star product. You want to get your hands on a pair of Shady Rays glasses. And I'm going to give you a way to do that and to save a little money while you're doing it. The price is already affordable. Go to ShadyRays.com. Use the promo code DLLS. You, too, can save 35% off a pair of polarized glasses. Go today.
I gotta go get mine back. I lost them in the lake, but they have a great replacement policy. They're gonna send me another pair. Shout out to our friends at HelloFresh as well. If you're tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays, get dinner done the easy way. Thanks to our friends at HelloFresh, who can help you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes that are delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip the grocery store, count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I love the HelloFresh. I love how simple and easy all of it is, and the variety that you can get with our friends at HelloFresh. You can get the prep and bake meals. You can get the ready-made meals. You can get, what are the names of the other one? 15-minute meals. There's just all sorts of different recipes you can get. And you can get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/freecowboys. One item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. All right, it is the DLLS Cowboys podcast, and we do have some shoddy things that we need to get to, and we do have to talk about, I do say T-Rex arms about anybody who doesn't have long arms at the combine. Like if you're 6'5", here's stupid combine numbers. If you are a guy who plays on the edge or defensive end, pass rusher, whatever, and your arms aren't 33 inches long, they're going to refer to you as a short arm guy. And so that's this. Okay. If you're an offensive tackle, same thing, 33 inches. Otherwise, you're a T-Rex. You're going to take your ass to guard. That's what we do. We just measure stuff and go, you're done. Go over there.
There's more strength in compact, I'm just saying.
That's true. How tall are you?
5'8.5".
Interesting, you're on that side of the argument.
I got short arms too.
Oh no, you got the T-Rex situation. Oh yeah, I didn't think about it. They're kind of short. Wow. Yeah, but
I embrace myself.
You had heart. All county.
All county.
We did have some Schottenheimer podium things that we can knock through real quick.
Yeah.
Joe. So what were some of your takeaways? Because there were a couple things I liked from our guy Shotty.
Yeah,
I like Shotty.
Yeah,
I want him to be great.
There you go.
I like him.
No, he is.
I like him.
He is the best. Where's the carrying water? Oh,
water.
I left my water bottle.
I'm just saying I like him. I don't know if he can coach.
Yeah, I mean,
saying I like him.
The amount of times that I've led stories with anecdotes or breakdowns or insight from Brian Schottenheimer the last few years is insane because he's not vanilla. He answers questions. So on that note, one thing they asked him yesterday was about something we talked about yesterday was about Cooper Beebe too, about the idea of moving him from guard or from center to guard. And he kind of reiterated what we wrote about and reported yesterday that, hey, that's something we're going to try to have the best 5 guys. And it's cool that he can, but I'd also like to see him, potentially progress. He talked about Tyler Guyton developing, which you pair those things. And you talk about the love that Brian Schottenheimer has shown for Brock Hoffman. I don't think it's very likely, to be honest with you, early on in this process that we're looking at a potential early offensive lineman.
Don't do that to me, because that's one of the spots I actually would feel good about.
I know, but
Kelvin Banks at 12, Texas left tackle, play him at right guard, bang.
I think they like the idea of Hoffman and Beebe, and I do think we've talked about this. It's hard to admit when you're wrong, especially a year after with a guy that's raw. And you've talked about this. You're out, right, on Tyler Guyton?
I'm out.
But I don't think that that's easy for them to do when you've already invested that.
Right,
So,
no, I get it.
yeah. So that's one note. And the other thing, we talked about this in pre-show. When you kind of listen to Brian Schottenheimer talk and Will McClay talk about how this staff was put together, I think it's very fascinating, and it's a good juxtaposition to what they've had previously in terms of a staff makeup. Brian Schottenheimer talked about this. He didn't know many guys on the staff. I think he's worked with 3 of them, he said before.
I love that.
He's worked with 3 of them before. And to find this staff, he talked about how he would annoy his wife late at night because he was like looking up coaches or texting coaches, hey, who do you know? Who should I target? He was tracking coaches and stuff like that. Oh, my God.
50 more!
Hey!
Womp,
Womp,
womp. Aaron's in the super chat. So thankful to Jeff, Pop, Joe, and Jesse. As fans, it's easy for us to sit back and make remarks and comments about players, but it's thanks to players like you, Jesse, who sacrificed their body for us all to be able to enjoy our Dallas Cowboys.
Aaron, you're the man.
You don't know how much I appreciate that, because I have to live with a lot of those things every single day, and I appreciate that more than you would ever know. I really do. I really do appreciate that. Thank you,
Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. You must have just got paid today.
Aaron
got paid today. Aaron
He's putting something questionable in the back of the truck, getting a little extra.
Hey,
the
allegations.
Mule it out, baby. Mule it out,
That's what
baby.
you got to do.
I'll read a quote from Schottenheimer. One comment. This is Jason Garrett 2.0. There's a difference though between Jason Garrett and Brian Schottenheimer. Jason Garrett was vanilla.
Snake.
Brian Schottenheimer actually answers questions and gives insight. If you listen to it, he'll actually answer questions.
Plus what Jesse said.
Very fascinating development. Yeah. Here's a quote from Schottenheimer in terms of building the staff. I think we found great teachers. We found guys that were incredible people, and I have a real big belief in the fundamentals. And so I think if you look at all the coaches that we've added, both young, old, the ability to train fundamentals and the development process for our players is critical. And one last thing, I know for a fact our players are going to feel the passion and energy of the staff. This staff is awesome just in terms of energy, the way they want to teach, and the way they want to be on grass.
I like lots of things about Shotty. I have no idea if this coaching staff is going to be great, if they're going to do anything great, but it goes back to like when they hired Brian Schottenheimer. Can't grade the hire because I don't know how he's going to do. I can grade the process, F-.
Yeah.
Filling out Shotty's staff, I think they get a very good grade on the process because it's not just bringing in friends and family. It's a bunch of guys that he doesn't really know that he thinks are really, really good at what they do. That's good process. And so, we'll see. But I do like that. And I like that when I saw that Will McClay was talking about it, because it's easy for the coach to say the right thing. It's easy for Will McClay to say the right thing. But that the attention is on the same thing, where it's like, look, this isn't, a lot of coaches in this league bring in their friends. He didn't.
Yeah.
He went and found the guys that he thinks are the best coaches, which, wow, shocking. Let's give myself the best chance by getting the best guys. But a lot of people do.
But not to be no, wait, because you made a comment.
Here comes some hating.
No, you made a comment.
What's the opposite
the
of
other
carrying
day.
water?
Here comes some hating.
Pour
Pour out the water.
You made a comment.
blanket.
You made a comment the other day. When we're talking about the combine, you're like, hey, we spoke with the Cowboys. Like, yeah, because they're the only ones that are there. That's why you talk to the Cowboys.
Right.
Could it be that all his other friends were occupied?
I don't know who his friends are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, could it?
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't know if from a timeline perspective, because, they got a little bit to a late start, but there were still a lot of options out there.
If his friends probably didn't think to themselves, boy, I should stay unemployed as long as I possibly
Shotty
can.
gonna get this job.
Shotty's the next one up. He wasn't in the conversation. At no point in time did we think from the time that we got to acquiring a new coach that it was going to be Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he felt that and knew that. I don't think if he had friends that they felt that and knew that. And I'm not poo-pooing on his picks.
No, you do some hating. It's fine.
But the trend usually is in all sports, baseball, basketball, whatever. I get a job.
Yep.
I'm going to hire the people that I'm familiar with, i.e. guys who are probably my friends, who I've probably worked with before. The idea of going out and getting new guys, that's not the norm. This is an abnormal process for him.
I love it.
To pick a bunch of different dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will that work out? We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Guyton's going to the Pro Bowl.
We'll find out. But what's going to be the real test is, because there is something about when you're in the fire.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, they're going to be in the fire.
They're in the honeymoon phase. Lunda Wells said it.
Everyone loves everybody. But see, when you're my friend, I can have a honest conversation with you. When you're my friend, I can come to you and be like, that's some bull. What you did, what you called in that game,
Just to let you know, these are just words.
that was bull.
But it was another thing I liked that Will McClay said, which was the way Shotty communicates, it will be confrontational. Like not in a negative way, but he is not afraid to challenge you and be challenged.
And that's fine. But now, again, you're talking about new people into your circle. How do you handle the confrontation?
I'm gonna bust your
how does that work? Because there's some people who, if we have a healthy confrontation, when we're done, you hungry? So get something to eat.
Yeah.
We're out of here. You know, and it's done. But there's some that hold on to that. Like there's some that can be very vindictive. There's some that can be very, manipulative in the point where, because you called me out in a staff meeting in front of everybody, now I feel some type of way. Now am I willing to be more open with you? Am I willing to be more whatever with you?
Yeah.
So there is some advantages of having friends in there, especially if your friends do well.
As the great Martin said, if you get a problem with what I said, you can get to stepping.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The one,
To stepping.
Okay.
the one thing about Shotty, though, he used his friends, too, in this process because he would contact his friends who had jobs and be like, okay, should I know about? Who am I not looking at? What coaches should be getting a shot? And I think that just because, he wasn't able to hire his friends, I think he was also able to build a staff thematically, though, too. I mean, I think this Will McClay quote is really good, too. We had coaches from 6 different teams to give us input on players that have been on their teams that are free agents, so that's a leg up on us. The college coaches coming in and understanding the college game, how it relates to the NFL game. Some of the things that they bring in here, their knowledge of players that have been recruited in the recruiting game, that brings more depth to what we do. And I think a good, fascinating example is Junior Adams at Oregon and what Tez Johnson said about that. Tez Johnson said, when I was at Troy, I'm really fast. I ran by dudes. I didn't run routes at Troy. Junior Adams said, come here. I'm going to teach you how to run routes. Here's Cooper Kupp's number. I want you to call him and figure out how to read coverages and how to get your IQ up and how you can actually do some route stuff.
Shout out to Cooper Kupp, because I'll be hanging up on people. I'll be like, well, I don't got time for this crap.
No doubt.
I would.
So but that helps in terms of draft process too, because like Junior Adams can be like, okay, yeah, when I recruited this guy, I saw someone that hadn't been developed here, so I developed him. We also recruited this guy who was a receiver at another place. I'm telling you, he didn't develop from externally from what I recruited in there. So having the college guys too gives a unique insight into how guys have developed and improved.
There's a guy who asked what radio stations are in Dallas for sports talk, and the answer is this. Yeah, it's just us, DLLS Cowboys. Or if you're looking for a different sport, the DLLS Rangers.
Podcasts too, and all of them like recorded audio podcasts.
Stars, Mavericks. Yeah, it's just
one-stop shop.
And there is a radio station, I think, in town. I'm going to be on one of them at 1:20 today, but I don't know the numbers. I would just be right here.
You could be a diehard and get all the information. So if you're not a diehard, go ahead and become a diehard.
Yeah.
It's just $4 a month, $48 right now. We have the spring training deal. So yeah, you don't look no further. You're here. You're at the station right here.
Nigel Smith, how you feeling if we take a guard or tackle with the first-round pick? Pretty good. This year's going to jack me up, man.
What do you mean?
It's just there's positions that I want to like. If you told me, hey, you're picking 12th overall, I'd be like, kick ass. And it's like, all right, what do you think you're going to get out of there? I'm like, man, maybe I want the top corner. I want
a Micah Parsons.
I want a kick ass pass rusher. I want a whip your ass defensive tackle. And then it's like, all right, well, how about this? What if this year I told you can't have any of those things? And I'm like, well, am I picking 12th? Like, now what are you going to do? Take a tackle, move him to guard. Take a wide receiver who's afraid to run at the combine because he knows he's going to run a 4.6. Sorry, Tet McMillan. No offense. I mean that with all due respect.
I love Tet too. But I just, yeah.
I like Tet, but I will tell you, when people don't run.
Oh, no, it's telling.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason. If you super fast people don't want to hide that they're super fast.
Absolutely not.
They're happy to go show you.
If Jaden Blue.
To your point, Blue in the cup said, oh, no, we're beating the 4.22.
Now, and both of those guys have a lot to gain, even though they're just proving something we already know.
Right, but fast guys want to show.
Fast guys want to go run fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's guys who aren't going to run fast.
Ferraris don't stay in the far right lane.
Blood Slinger. I heard there's talk about moving up to the number 1 pick in the draft. Thoughts? That came from Mike Florio, which means that you can immediately discard it.
But we talked about it yesterday if you want to go check out that show on
but
YouTube.
You can go, long form. We dismissed it yesterday if you want to go do that. Voch Lombardi is a great radio show. That's true. And Studio Day Heffrey.
Who wears their do-rag more, Voch, Michael Penix Jr.?
Voch.
Really?
Yeah, Voch, yeah. Yeah, I've been.
Wait, I don't know if I've ever seen him without it.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
No, there's
Neither one of them. I haven't seen either one of them out there with their do-rag.
No chance. Coming up next, we're going to step into Club Pop Pop. Clarence is out at the Combine. We'll get the very latest from our own Clarence Hill. That's next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast.
Are we going FOCO right here? Let's go, FOCO. Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Look right behind me, man. All the stuff you see on this wall right here, a lot of this stuff has been donated from FOCO to us. If you want to get your game room, if you want to get your studio, I know everybody's jumping into the podcast game right now. A little saturated, my Chase. But
It's
hey,
not a little saturated.
it's a little saturated if you for my liking. Check out Unfiltered with Jesse Holly while you're out there. But if you want to get
Unfiltered with Jesse Holly? Okay.
Yeah, that one. If you want to get your podcast studio, your game room, your TV room, your man cave, your she shed for my very, very soft and feminine women out there, head on over to FOCO and they can get you right. They got all things that you need. Heading out to the game, get yourself some friendship bracelets. Head over to FOCO.com, use the promo code DLLS and get 10% off anything on their website. They have overalls and shirts and banners and all types of things. You don't want to miss out. And there's some great gift options for others as well. FOCO, DLS, the promo code, 10% off is what you get. Be like us, man, and get nice.
All right, shout out to our friends at Sleeper as well. I should open the app to see what Joe had it open yesterday, and they think they got Combine things on there. But our friends at Sleeper, what you do, it's the best fantasy league platform out there, but it's also the daily fantasy, the making picks. That's what you do with our friends over at Sleeper. All you do is pick whether you think certain players are going to have more or less than their projected stats each
They got
week.
40s on here.
They got 40s
They
on
got
there.
verts. They got
Quinshawn Judkins 449.
They got bench press.
Higher.
Is-
Jalen Milroe 441. Higher.
How about O'Marion Hampton bench press 19 and a half? They lifting at USC.
He has some
Yeah, he is.
okay, so have some fun with the Combine with our friends at Sleeper right now, and you can also use any other sport if you think that Luka or AD or I don't know who's on the Mavs anymore, but if you think they're going to have more or less points than projected, just make that pick. Use the promo code DLLS Boys when you want to sign up for these contests, and that'll get you the hookup. Play $5, get $55 with our friends at Sleeper. All right, is Club up? Do you think?
Where legends drop.
Do you think when we bring Clarence on,
Yes.
that he will be able to hear us?
Yes.
And we will be able to hear him.
Yes. Yes.
No-
I'm
no
feeling.
shot.
I'm feeling good.
No shot.
I believe in you, Unc.
No
I have
shot.
a mic today. I'm nervous about this.
No shot. No shot that he's audio inclined and ready to go.
Oh, look at him.
Look at Pop Pop. Hey man,
What's up, guys?
I believe in you.
we can hear you. Hell yeah.
I got the AirPods
welcome.
in.
Oh,
I'm good, man.
Got him right. You got
I'm
your boy
good.
right.
Don't let me forget to write those off this
You
year.
got your
Don't let me forget to write them bad boys off. What's
I'm
up?
in the middle of a luncheon at Harry and Izzy's with Coach Schottenheimer off the record luncheon. I thought we'd be talking about football early, and later on we were grab button the first hour, and now they're talking football. So I had to jump out and talk to you guys, and Schottenheimer was out at Prime 47 last night. He was in the streets with Steven and the bus and everything else, man.
no.
It's Combine week, and just lots of nuggets. I don't know if you know the stuff I posted about your boy Ted McMillan, who's not going to run the 40 at the Combine, and also here not going to run the 40 even at his pro day. So what does that tell you?
He's
He
slow.
can't run.
He's slow. Yep, that tells me that
You
he's
know,
slow.
and talking to Ashton, Jeanty, talked to his agent last night, and certainly talked to him on the podium today and off the podium. He's not visiting with the Cowboys. The Cowboys not going to use their combine visits with him, but he will get a 30 visit. So he's going to get a 30 visit with the Cowboys for sure. And certainly you guys saw all the guys that they're visiting, the receivers. Certainly your boy Mecca Buka, got a relationship with Junior Adams, and his high school coach, played under Junior Adams at Eastern Washington. So they did informal, but yeah, he's someone that's on the radar for sure.
Did you see that? Not one, but two
I see what you did there.
of your Hook'em guys claim they're about to go break Xavier Worthy's record.
Yeah, I was like, what's in the water in Texas? I mean, those guys were not faster than Xavier Worthy when he was at Texas. I mean, Blue is fast, and certainly Bond is the guy who's a 200-meter champion out of Georgia. He was a high school state champion, track champion. So they're going to run fast, but for him saying he's going to run 1:41, wow. Wow, I certainly listen. I would love to see it. talking to people here that the track is different. They put a new turf down. Times maybe a little slower than past years because of that. So we'll see. But Bond said he ran a 4.23, in his training. Certainly talked to his agent as well, and they're excited. They think he's going to run fast and shoot back up the draft boards.
That is interesting. That is interesting. And it is interesting.
Better be interesting.
Because I had seen, I knew they put down the new turf, and I didn't know what it would do for time. But, I mean, if James Pierce can run a 4.47, and he is a very fast defensive end, but, I mean, I don't think there's anything. The D tackle ran a 4.83 yesterday. Like, I don't think there's anything stopping these guys. Get out there and fly. Although I did see tons of people slipping in position drills. So, like, going from back pedal to forward, lots of slippy.
Mike McCarthy is working with Quinn Ewers. I don't know if you saw that, but I talked to Quinn Ewers. We talked about Mike McCarthy working with him and giving him, insight on the board and getting ready for the combine. Certainly, here's a guy who said he was only healthy for 2 games all season last year for Texas. For all the guys that said, why don't you play Arch? Maybe they should have played Arch because Quinn Ewers wasn't healthy. But he said, it taught us some resiliency. He never thought about coming back and playing a full healthy season. He was ready to start his journey, continue his journey in the pros, but and he wanted to leave a legacy at Texas. But guy only played 2 games healthy last season, led Texas to national semifinals. But he has been working with Mike McCarthy. Couple of notes just talking to Schotty. We talked about Cooper Beebe being used at guard. He said they prefer to keep him at center. That's the plan, to keep him at center. Even from Riley, his coach in Kansas State, everybody talks about their connection from, when he was a guard at Kansas State, but they want to keep him in center. I think center is the best position, but they want to play their best 5. So if the best 5 means the brawler has to go in the center,
Hoffman.
and the brawler, Hoffman, they like Hoffman's mental attitude. They like the nastiness of Hoffman. And I got some stuff off the record I will tell you about Hoffman when I get back, because I don't know if I can say some of those colorful things on air, but certainly Brian was talking about Hoffman, in the game against Washington. How he was, going toe to toe and getting under the skin of all the Washington players.
Isn't that when he grabbed somebody's
grab that jump.
Did all of this stuff. But it was more of just the trash talking. And Bobby Wagner came over to the sideline and told Brian, "Can y'all get a hold of 67?" He stopped him from talking so much trash. But he gets under their skin. But so that's the focus. They really believe in Tyler Guyton and think he can take the next step. And they want to keep him at left tackle. That's the focus there. They think he can. He's already been in the weight room. He's been in the weight room since the end of the season. He's working hard. They like his attitude. They certainly think he can take the next step. Regarding some of the free agents, DeMarcus Lawrence is healthy. He wants to play. Just talking to some guys, with his agents last night, if he don't get the number, he'll retire. I mean, it's not like I want to play on Melton, but I'm not playing for no chump change. Okay, he's been, DeMarcus Lawrence is a shrewd businessman. He's not playing for no chump change. So he wants to come back. We don't know if Dallas is going to pay to keep him, but if he doesn't get the number he wants, even with the Cowboys or somewhere else, he'll likely retire before he comes back. Certainly Jordan Lewis and Rico, they have a market, and we'll see if the Cowboys are going to match their market. Obviously, this is the unofficial start of free agency. So it hasn't started, but teams are talking, and you're getting the rumblings, and everybody's trying to set the tone and really see where the market is. And certainly, we're talking about the agent for those guys, and he's going to be on the bus with Jerry and those guys today in Indianapolis.
Well, the agent we're all looking at for Osa right now, where, you hear the reports about they're close to signing, maybe close to signing. The number's near 21, but not quite sure what the number is. What are you hearing, feeling? What are they saying
sources
about?
Tell me it's not 20. My sources tell me it's not 21. It's under that. It's under 20. But they're focused on getting him done. And they're looking to do a 4-year deal, but they want to get him done for sure. And they want to get it, like we talked about, what Steven said earlier in the week, we want to get our hands around this at the combine. They're trying to get it done as soon as possible. They want to get it done this week. And so that is the focus, but nothing's done yet. But they're talking and they're getting their arms around it, but they're looking at a 4-year deal. And, and again, they know what the money, we talked about it earlier this week, the money is the money. The market is the market, whether it's 19, 20, 21, it's we're talking about a $1 difference, but that's what the market is. But they want to get him done. And again, talking to Shotty, he thinks that the depth. So this, even if they sign him, they're still going to have to get numbers at the position. He said that they really love White Cotton and what he's doing and how he's going to make them play, even with Mozzie. But they're going to be in a rotation, and they need depth, and they want guys going hard. And so having depth, so that would not preclude them, even if they sign him. The plan to sign him, that's not going to preclude them from going to get another defensive tackle. This is a draft or free agency because they need depth at that position because they're going to rotate those guys.
Joe, when we talk about this offseason, one of the things that's a big storyline is whether the Cowboys are going to be different, right? Whether they're going to actually go all in or they're going to change their free agency philosophy. When I hear you say, hey, they want a 4-year deal, but less or south of $20 million for a guy whose franchise tag would be $24 million if they did it, and the market could potentially be more. My question to you is, how willing do you think the Cowboys are actually to go beyond what their norm, what they're giving right now in terms of an offer, and maybe even go a little bit north of that?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that it takes two to tango, and I think Osa wants to stay here. I think that's part of the conversation here. If Osa's taking something less than what you would think he could get on the market, it's because he really wants to stay here, like Ben in Dallas. And certainly that's something that that the Cowboys have in their back pocket. They know a guy wants to stay here, and they take a deal like that. But they're going to do what they take to get it done, and they're confident they can get it done. So I think they believe they can get it done at their number, that they don't have to go over 21.
Who in the Cowboy contingency? Who are all there at the combine?
Everybody's here. Everybody's here. That's something different than past years under Mike McCarthy, who left the coaches back. Certainly they felt they left. They learned the lesson. Certainly Schottenheimer talked about that when he talked to us, that something was lost. You got some coaches here, some coaches back, and they're not on the same page. Certainly with the new staff, the entire staff is here. They're working on Cowboy stuff in the morning. They're working on ball. They're acclimating themselves. But then they're all going out and certainly getting their hands around these prospects in the afternoon and certainly at night doing the workouts. But the entire staff is here.
Is this a group think thing when it comes to the prospects, or is it still going to be heavy Will McClay and his staff? Like who's all feeding into the process on looking at prospects and drafting prospects?
Well, I think that like anything, it should be, and it has been. Will McClay is going. You have a scheme. Certainly you have a style of play, and you're going to look for players to fit that style of play. I think that the job of a scout is to find players that fit what the coaches want to do and the scheme that they're playing on the field. And so I think that Will, certainly has talked about, if you read some other stuff, he's talked about the relationship he has with Schottenheimer, the communication. They're really communicating well with Schottenheimer and what he wants. And, I asked Schottenheimer about, the type of running back he wants, the type of player he's looking for. And certainly, he's looking for, running back, they certainly can do block, tackle, run, certainly catch the ball out of the backfield. Sounds like Ashton Jeanty to me. I don't know about you.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like he was looking for a good running back. Sounds like you're looking for a good running back.
Ashton Jeanty's a good running back.
Sounds like Ashton Jeanty to me, but no. So I think that, the scouting department should take in consideration what the coaches want, how they play, and when they target these type of players, for sure.
The final thing, because I'm gonna do a circle back. Hit you with a corporate term here. Circle back. When you talked about Hoffman and when he was grabbing everybody's junk and how much they like that, and also that they like BB at center or whatever they liked about Hoffman. Did in your mind, does that preclude the idea that the 12th overall pick could be a right guard? Like, could they do that, or do you think that they like Hoffman enough that they don't feel that's a priority?
No, I think that they're going to take the best player available. And if that right guard, if that 12th overall is Kelvin Banks, I mean, I think they're going to do what they have to do. You got to take the best player available. If Ashton Jeanty's off the board and you still have these questions, everybody's talking about these questions at receiver, you have to take the best player available. And one of those defensive tackles that we've talked about is not up there. And it's crazy. You if you get to the combine, you see guys. Pierce, all the questions about Pierce, he runs so fast, and you got to consider that he's going to be a guy that's moving back up the draft board after all the questions about him, and certainly Abdul Carter. We'll see with that injury and how that affects his draft stock. I loved your teasing yesterday about, hey, if he got a foot injury, man, he should not be drafted for top 11. Let him drop.
I
Let
couldn't
him
use a
drop.
top. No top
And
one pick.
I want to ask you, Mason Graham came in lighter than he was showed in college, and certainly he's
draft
always
nerd.
been a quick guy and uses quickness. But the fact that he's 297 and not 320 is that scary? Because that shades of Mosley losing all that weight. But this time, I think they were just lying about his weight in college.
I would say it's not ideal, but I also think they lie about weight in college. Like, I never thought that Mason Graham
But
was
20
300
pounds?
I never thought he was 320. I would have guessed he was 305. So, like, to me, it was a 5 to 10 pound surprise, not a 30 or 25 pound surprise.
Chat lies.
Chat lies. Yeah, chat lies about those things. But no, it goes into what I talked about earlier, what you've been talking to Shotty. I think I hate this draft. Like, the guys who I feel the most confident about who they are play the positions that I don't want to pick in the first round. So please just pick me a right guard and let's not worry about it. Kelvin Banks, hook him. Hey, congratulations on Texas actually having a bunch of dudes that are going to play in the NFL again. It's great, Clarence. Have a great
All right.
day.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
I'm Pop. I'm an old guy.
Yeah, there goes Clarence. Yeah, man. Get back to Shotty. Coming up next, the Combine, why it's kind of driving me nuts. And all of your super chats, your questions, your comments, we're cruising. It's draft season. We're having a time. It's all next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. Also, want to...
No,
I just cracked the thing.
It was already done.
Practical.
Oh, yeah.
That was loud.
Also want to encourage you, the spring training intro offer is still going on to be a diehard, and you're going to want to take advantage of this bad boy because it ain't lasting much longer. And for draft season is probably the best time to sign up to be a diehard. You get access to so much incredible content. I would say on draft day, the 3 days of the draft, you're going to want to, if you're signed up to be a diehard, you're going to want to have our buddy Fran Duffy's guide pulled up, all of his rankings, all of the scouting reports. It's just so much information that you can click through in such an easy manner. It's incredible. So when you sign up to be a diehard, our spring training offer, $48 for the entire year. You get a free t-shirt when you sign up. You can pick which one you want from our merch shop, and our merch shop's badass. I do like the little shooting horse.
That's a good one.
I like the little shooting horse. It's one of my faves. But we got a lot of cool shirts. And you can get 20% off of all the merch there in the store when you're signed up to be a diehard. You get 20% off all the events that we have. You get access to all of our premium written content, like stuff you get from Clarence and Joe, and things you get from guys on all of our other shows for all of your DFW teams. When you sign up to be a diehard, you also get access to our Discord server, lounge, Discord thing, to our Discord.
Feetsies?
Do you just stop the word there? Did you say to our Discord?
To our Discord. Yeah.
To our Discord.
Yeah, because Discord is your Discord community, your Discord channels, it's just Discord.
Access to our Discord. Period. No word after that. To our Discord. You also get a real sweet carrying card, which we have not gotten yet.
I don't know if we're ever going to get it.
We got vitamins and stuff today.
we get free. I mean, look, I got my Lucy.
I got a sweatshirt.
I got my Lucy.
Yeah. We get stuff that we get this stuff.
I just can't get this damn carrying card.
Well, how is it such a hard thing to
I don't know.
retrieve?
Sign up to be a diehard today. All right, final segment of the broadcast day. If you're in the chat, we welcome your questions and your comments, all of those different things. We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but like the NFL Combine is going on right now. It's freaking me out. Mason Graham's smaller than he's supposed to be. Hell, maybe that gets him to 12. And now we can introduce a guy that I would love for the Cowboys to pick. Maybe that screws him up. Bring me Abdul Carter or Mason Graham. Let Graham being too light. Come on down, baby. Osa plays at 285, I think.
Yeah, no, he's light.
Graham's almost 300 pounds. And he probably lost weight for the Combine. No, he didn't lose weight to try to move better because he ain't working out. Guys who are not working out at the Combine. Mason Graham, the top D tackle in the draft class. Abdul Carter's hurt, but he wouldn't work out anyway. Jalen Walker, my guy at Georgia, who I want to feel great about potentially at number 12, but guess what? He's kind of a tweener, or is he a defensive weapon hybrid? Hard to say.
Weird that he's not working out.
He's not working out. Michael Williams, the other Georgia edge guy, not working out. Ted McMillan, not going to run, and I believe he's just not working out. I believe he's not doing anything.
I don't think so.
So the top receiver, not doing anything. Shadur Sanders, Cam Ward, the top two quarterbacks, they ain't throwing. The phrasing I used earlier is it has turned into a non-playoff bowl game at the Combine. If you have anything to lose, they just don't do it. And I'm a big enough draft nerd that I'm engaged. I'm in. I'm going to watch because I want to see guys who like you can work out your way from undrafted to the 5th round.
Yeah.
You can work out your way from the 4th or 5th round to the 2nd or 3rd round.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
But the guys who think that they could work their way from the top 15 to going 36, I wouldn't work out either, and I get it. I just hate it because I'm trying to find the right player for the Cowboys. And Tet McMillan, if you run a 4.66, I want to know that. Are you not running because you think a 4.54 would look bad? Or are you not running because you would run a 4.7? Those are two totally different things. One is, that's fine. That's NFL receiver speed. It's just not fast NFL receiver speed. The other one is, uh-oh. And so when the guys opt out like that, it just makes you less confident in your ability to pick them at certain spots.
And also let me say when it comes to I know the 40 is such a prestigious drill that people run, but there is a such thing as
game speed,
straight line speed,
and straight line speed. Like there are some players who get out there and run the 40, and because
Pat Mahomes ran slow as hell in the 40. He can move.
The thing about the 40 is, here's the thing about the entire combine. It is a pony show. When these guys go out to these respected facilities to train, whether it's in Florida, California, whatever. I had the opportunity to work for Exos here in Frisco.
Yeah.
And players sometimes would come and they would get upset at me because they wanted to go work on all of the ha 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 ha. And I go,
I'm here to make you money at that drill.
I said, I am here to, it's a test.
Yeah.
We are training for the test. Yeah. Now, if you want to come back after that with a couple dollars, then I'll get the So a lot of these guys, it becomes very technical, especially the 40. Like you can shave off a couple milliseconds, whatever, by certain things to get off your stride and all that kind of stuff. And some guys just don't do well with that. They don't do well when it comes to the technical part of the test. Now, you have some dudes that are just like, roll the damn ball out. Let's hoop.
Yeah.
And watch me give you 30. Right? And that works, but we are under this umbrella and we live in this life now where we're still in this place of the metrics where you have to have the long arms and you have to have the right weight and you have to ride the right 40.
Quarterback.
The quarterback has to have the big hands and I have to have the good 10 splits. I have to have the good L, right? We live in that world where the
offensive line, short shuttle.
Where the metrics say, in order for this person to be that type of player, they need to meet these type of expectations in the numbers wise. And for some people, it works that way. And there's others who did not work out that way. And they may go later in the draft, they get in the league and you go, oh no, this guy is a hell of a football player. Yeah. And that's might be your guy Shamar from A&M, right? He has all the physical tools. Yep. It's just like now maybe getting in the right molded place to get him to that situation. But to your, like I said this earlier in the week, when the guys that you're putting on TV to really promote this thing aren't working, to you it doesn't matter,
right?
Because you're all in no matter what. Right. You know who the guy is that go from undrafted to the 5th round.
Yeah.
The average person doesn't. They want to see
Shador throw.
They want to see Travis Hunter. They want to see Jeanty and Tech. All the names that you see on the highlight reels and on the promotion of the shows and the highlight. So that's why I'm saying, like, we're getting to a place now where this whole thing about the combine is getting so watered down and so kind of unimportant that guys are saying, I'm just going to do it either not at all or I'm just going to wait till I'm in my controlled environment where I call the shots, where I do what throws that we're throwing. My quarterback coach does that. What routes that we're running, my school does that. And I don't have to deal with what the league wants to see. I'm going to show you what I want to show you.
And I'm going to throw to guys I know,
plus the film, and then you guys got to go from there.
I also think, too, it's putting more emphasis on your scouts actually being good scouts. Because, and you talked about this earlier, like, the paralysis by analysis, you get too much information. You might choose the chimichanga when you didn't even want the chimichanga, right?
Yeah, that happened to you, right?
That happened to me, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
But, like, I think, too, when you add the combine stuff to this, especially with the timing of it, like, you might have had a guy that you saw 4 times in person, and you said, you know what? I went to 4 Arizona games, and I know Tet McMillan, he's probably not going to run the 40, but, man, he is smooth. He is a great, when the ball's up in the air, he can come down with it. I love this guy. Oh, but now the fact he's not running a 40, that kind of that talks me out of it. So I think what this is doing is just putting more emphasis on your scouts, trusting their instincts, trusting their eyes, and actually trusting the film. Like we talked about with Shamar. I didn't even realize he was a draft prospect truly until like the draft process started. That's because he was going to run fast and do things. And yes, he did. But like, for example, like a Landon Jackson, for example, that's a guy who I think you go watch in person. Like
I didn't love his tape.
He
destroyed the combine. His measurables are great. I will have to watch more and adjust and probably move him up because it's like, okay, I'm probably wrong and the rest of the world is right.
Yeah, so he's the guy that wins from the combine because you're like, oh my gosh, you look really good.
Big old Arkansas defensive end.
So Tyreek Williams from Ohio State, that's a guy where you're like, oh man, I knew that you were I kind of looked at you as just the run stuffing kind of defensive tackle, but
great.
But you moved really, really well. Maybe we're gonna have to move you up. So with all this being said, it's just putting more emphasis on your scouts being good scouts.
And that reminds me of something that I want to tell people. Jeff's combine rule number 76-E4. Never count it twice. The two Texas guys that are claiming they're going to break the combine record, they're not. I mean, if one of them runs faster than 4.21, that would be incredible. They're not.
No.
But when they both run in the 4.3s, you do not move them up.
Yeah.
Like they did not do something that changed your mind. If you watch them and you take notes, it's going to say fast. Yeah. When they run fast, nothing has changed.
Right.
You already knew that. Don't count it twice.
It's a great rule.
Knights in the super chat. Does Schott coach more like his dad or coaching tree scheme wise? We don't.
He said Pete Carroll's the one he's modeled his game after the most.
And Pete Carroll's the one that fired him. And I love that he said, "I let Russ cook a little bit."
I let Russ cook a little bit too much.
So he's like, "All right, I'm back to Petey ball. We're gonna run the ball."
He called that like a heartbreaking like breakup and a hard one because they just agreed to disagree.
It sounds like they're gonna put an emphasis on running the football, and if you're going to, I would encourage you over and over again. Go ahead and use that 12th pick on a right guard.
Or Ashton Jeanty.
If you're going to try that,
he's gonna revert back to what you always revert back to the things that you're comfortable with.
Especially when there's a clock on it, a play clock. Pass play.
It's gonna be a pass play. It's gonna be cooking. It's gonna let Dak cook.
Aaron from the 561. Anyone who spreads truth on who Florio is deserves my money. I don't mean to take shots at people. It's important to remember that everyone in the world is doing the best they can. Okay, remember that. He just annoys me. Peebo, that's a great name, from Dallas. We got Street Clothes AD, one more entry, and it's Street Clothes Dak from now on. When free agency gets here, I pray we stay out the discount aisle. Agreed.
I agree on that Dak conversation.
Hey, man.
I agree.
He's close.
Hey, man.
I agree. One more major. And I know you got those nice suits, my boy. Had to start calling you Bespoke.
Vance is in the super chat. Do we have an example of a prospect with all the traits and lack of production that was successful in the NFL? One not engaged.
I was wondering this. And
I mean, the answer is yes. There's a bunch of them. Off the top of my head, I'll do one from, 3 years ago when he got picked number 1 overall. I was like, he absolutely should not get picked number 1 overall because the tape's not there. Trayvon Walker, the Georgia guy who got picked ahead of Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, which
like Aiden Hutchinson's a better player.
Yeah.
But Trayvon Walker had an okay rookie year, and he's had double-digit sacks the next 2 years. He did not have college production, but he did go number 1 overall because people loved the athleticism and the traits that much. So it happens a lot. There's a reason that people pick traits over production because it also depends what are you doing in college. A guy who I really like, Michael Williams. People are like, he doesn't have a bunch of sacks. Why would you pick him at 12? And I say, well, he's a great run defender. And you say that he plays the edge and you want him to have sacks. I say, look where they line him up and what they ask him to do. They line him up inside tackle's shoulders, and they ask him to wrestle. He doesn't get to line up out there and go after the quarterback all day, or he might have 9 or 10 sacks. And so that's what it is. Your scouts have to be good at scouting.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this guy have it? What will change? Can we do it?
Because there's scoreboard watchers with like Micah Parsons last year who said, hey, you didn't have a lot of sacks early on. Well, yeah, because they were down by 40 and then people were just running the ball.
Mike is incredible. He destroyed everyone.
Exactly.
What would you put more stock into for a wide receiver at the combine, the 40 or the receiver gauntlet?
Neither.
Whoa.
Yeah, I would also say neither. Now, if he runs a 4.7, we got a problem.
Right. Yeah,
but if he runs a 4.55 or better, and on tape he looks fine speed-wise, you're fine.
For me,
and if you can't catch, that's a problem.
For me, the receivers, what's the tape say?
Yeah.
Like for a receiver, what does the tape say? If he's separating on tape, he's fine. If he's running good routes on tape, like there's nothing you're going to be really revealed to you at the combine.
Unless he just tests as a bad athlete across the board, then you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Lambie. Would y'all take Ashton at 12 and then try and move back into the first round? Well, we got to know who we're coming back to get. Yeah. But, yeah, I'll take Ashton at 12. And then if you find me the right offensive lineman, we could come get him. Maybe the right defensive tackle, you could come get him. Maybe
there's no one with draft picks I would want to use to then guarantee a 5th year.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you all for stopping by. Happy Combine Week. Enjoy watching all the guys in their undies over the weekend. Thanks to Pop Pop. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.